Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to update you on one of the conferences I attended. It was the first of its kind here in South Sudan. It was a women conference. It was organized by Her Excellency the Vice President, Madam Rebecca Nyandeng, and some NGO agencies and some UN agencies and some other NGOs. So the theme of the conference was, in Arabic, it was Guab Tamara, which means strength of a woman. So the conference was all about empowering women and girl child. They talked about increasing the participation of women in politics and decision making and policy making in South Sudan. They also talked about mental health, and then they also talked about inclusion of person with special needs in the activities and in all the programming. So, and that is where my area of interest was, person with disabilities, because as you all know, I have an autistic child. So all our women speakers that spoke, they spoke well and they really encouraged. I got inspired by some of the words, but I was particularly very interested with one of the speakers who talked particularly about disability and the stigma that is attached to it. And I remember one of the speakers saying that the reason why a lot of government and the UN don't do so much about people with special needs or people with disabilities. At that time they had put them all under one umbrella. Personally, I'm not under the category of people with physical disabilities. Mine has to do with the behavior of my child. Mine has to do with the way he interacts with his environment. So it is his learning disability that he actually suffering from. So she talked about the stigma attached to it, and because of that stigma, many parents don't actually come out and talk about, so they don't know how many children are being affected. She talked about because of the way the society looks at you, because the society is going to judge you, people don't come out and talk about their children's disability. They prefer to hide them, and that is why many of them are not able to do much about them. So they really encourage us for people to come out, and that is why I'm here today doing this video. You see, as a parent, you are the one an advocate for your child. It is you to advocate for your child's rights. These children, they cannot speak for themselves. It is us to speak for them. It is us to advocate for them. It is us to fight for their right, and that is why I'm here today. Please, guys, if you're out here, please share my videos. One of the reasons why I actually created this channel was to create awareness on the disability that is affecting my child. And these are the children. I know he's not the only autistic child in South Sudan. I know there are so many parents there, but we are hiding them because of the way the society is coming to. The society perceives us as a parent of a special need child. So the number one, I remember, the speaker, one of the speakers. I don't want to mention her name. She particularly said, like in our culture, me, I'm a Dinka by tribe. I remember she said that if you go to a household and it is referred to a woman, just know that that household, there are children with some kind of disability. And I remember she said clearly in my mother tongue, and I will say that as she has said it, she said that nala ko bay kule yuge pan when nong mentwine tin illegal pan man ngek, and it will clearly mean that that household belong to a certain woman, maybe who has kids. So you can imagine how it is. You're being isolated. I know for us culturally, children belong to the man, but the moment the child is being referred to you as to the mother, just know that that child has a problem, and that is why maybe many parents actually hide. Personally, I refuse to hide my child. I will create awareness. I will put him out there. I will do all that I can so that my child is being helped, because no one is going to make me feel bad about the situation of my child. God gave me God gave me that's my son for a purpose, and there's a reason for it. So I'm not going here to feel bad about it. So that was one of the speakers actually said. So that is why we are here. We need to create awareness on these conditions. We need to, in order for the government even to help us as parents, in order for these other agencies for them to come up and look for ways to maybe even help us, we need to clearly come out and talk about these issues as parents. The other thing that I remember clearly, she talked about that speaker, was the fact that children with disabilities, in the older days, some of them were actually being murdered. But right now, instead of murdering, they're hiding them. So that's one thing that we need to stop. We need to stop the stigma. So those people who are judging parents with special need, they need to stop that. And for a parent that has a special child need, God is with you. Take care of your child. Hold on to your child. Look for where you can get help for your child. There are places like here in South Sudan. There is one school for special need kids. It's called Strotuna. You can go there. You can get help for your child. In fact, I remember towards the end of the conference, we were entertained by one of the women with special needs. She was crippled, but she had such a powerful voice. You know, when I heard her voice, I almost cried because that woman has a voice. Imagine for a while you couldn't believe that unless you looked at her how she was walking, that's when you know, oh, she has a problem. But that her voice was just so powerful. She has such, I will put one of her songs later. You listen to it and see how she really sang. She's such a powerful woman. And for a while, she put down her disability. Her disability did not define her in any way. In fact, I remember in the crowd, because I was seated behind, there were some women ahead of me. I saw one of the women in the, I think she's in the forces, the army, because she was in uniform. I remember she was in crutches, and she put her crutches down, and she was there dancing. She raised that crutches up. Honestly, I felt happy that for once she wasn't defined by her disability. She was there having fun like anyone else. She sang. She really went and supported their own. And this is what we need. We need to include them. We need to make government recognize these people. We need to make people know them, to respect them and treat them with dignity, because they are not less. They are just different from other people, but they are not definitely less. So that is all that I have learned a lot, but I was really touched by the fact that people with special needs were included in such programs. And this is what we need to advocate for. This is what we need to fight for, as people who are taking as caregivers of children with special needs, as people who are staying with people who have special needs, because it is up to us to advocate for them. So this is what I have for today. Thank you for joining me. See you in my next video. Bye bye.
I am very happy that women with disabilities are given the opportunity to be part and parcel of such a very important conference for the women of South Sudan. This is a clear picture that you're leaving no one behind for sure. As your partner, I'm going to present a song, and I have to be inclusive. I'll just translate the song because the song is in Arabic. The song is like, how will South Sudan look like if we involve more women in leadership? What kind of peace shall we have if we involve more women in uniform? Thank you so much.